Sports anchor Ronnie Duncan in with us tonight. And Ronnie, this is obviously affecting everyone, including youth sports.
You know, there's pickleball, there's tennis, there's soccer. A lot of kids are outside playing and they're having a good time. But when you're playing, you're having a good time, you have to say to yourself, what precautions do you take? I had a chance to see some kids and they said, how hot is too hot? Well, they're amateur baseball players. Yes, over at the city's west side, I ran into the Padres of the Youth Baseball League. 8 to 10-year-old kids who were practicing in full uniform. And their manager, Leon McKissick, told me that his team stays hydrated with plenty of fluids, and it truly helps.
We played in a tournament about 2 weeks ago, and our parents, between games, they just made sure our kids had plenty of water. They made sure they were fed, and they just do an unbelievable job of making sure our kids stay hydrated.
That is so important. You know, violence and baseball have been running hand in hand. Some people have been turning up the heat on their emotions. Coaches and umpires have become victims of the beatdown on Little League fields nationwide. Today, that same group you just saw is trying to change the storyline in the D. Leon McKissick is the youth manager for the Padres baseball organization, and he is truly annoyed by seeing fights like this that happen in Colorado on youth baseball diamonds across America.
I think it's ridiculous, really. I think that if they get a hold to the parents early and have a meeting with them and tell them what they, suggest and recommend, what not to do, I think we can get away without causing all these problems. But I think, we're setting a bad example for our kids.
Mariah Adams Lawton lays down the law here, and she says the best way is to avoid any brawls or disrespect to those in charge is to think about the impression that these type of outbursts, such as the one seen in Colorado, can leave on children.
I'm looking at my kids turn into teenagers, and they are doing the same exact thing where they're threatening the officials, they're threatening the coach.
You see adults acting up, fighting other adults and yelling. I mean, does that scare you?
Yeah, because they're fighting over stuff that it's like just a baseball game. It's baseball. It's a sport. And you're supposed to cheer people on, not hurt other people. You're supposed to cheer other people on, and if you see somebody fighting, that's just not okay.
That guy, that's my dude. Gabriel Morgan loved the hair, but he is wise beyond his years. And to Mariah L. Adams Lawton, the CEO of Enriching Kids Through Opportunities, saving lives one step at a time is her mission. What an amazing journey. We'll talk more about her in weeks to come. All right, let's go from the Little League to the big leagues. Not a great start for the Tigers pitcher, Tyler Alexander. First batter he faced, Kyle Schwarber, and see ya baseball, I can take a ride. I'm going all the way out. It's a solo homer. That would be the only run the Philadelphia Phillies would need. The Tigers lose to the Phillies 1-0, their 5th straight loss. The Lions are like so many teams. They're having what they call the NFL mini camp. Well, the big news coming out of the Lions camp was the head coach, Dan Campbell. He let it be known that he's on Team Jared Goff 100%. Dan says that Goff is better than he's ever been.
What you're seeing is a guy who just put his head down and went back to work and worked on what he could, tried to improve on what he could, and now his confidence is really grown, and along the way he's matured as a quarterback. I mean, he's a better quarterback than he was there, in my opinion.
Super Bowl. It's on CBS Detroit, by the way. The Lions will be in it. Hey, look, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm talking about the approach of the PGA and the Live Tour. Yes, forget about the Saudi Arabia. Money, money talks. Money, money talks, and the other stuff walks. Yeah, the PGA and Phil Mickelson and all the Live people are saying, guess what? We're all together now. We're going to play a whole bunch of golf because the proposed plan is now on the board. I tell you, that is so much fun, unifying the game of golf. I'm Ronnie Duncan. That's a look at your sports. 3, 2, 1. I am done, and I'm tired too.
Money must talk, and that is the craziest story that you just ended on there. It's all over. They're just gonna...
It's all about money, not a doggone thing funny.
Yes.
Craziest thing is they're suing each other.
Yeah, I guess they're just calling that off.
But you know who's got the most money, right? It ain't the PGA.
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Right.
A lot of approvals needed for that.
That's why it's called compromise.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ronnie.
All right.